We've got a brand new leaked Star Wars Episode 9 poster from Reddit, and you know we gotta break this down.
It's like the news, but for nerds. Subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Today's shout out goes to original Rachel. Yes, indeed, Hogan, Volstagg, and Fandral were the names of the Warriors 3. We'll do another nerd card question at the end of this video. All right, let's get into this, but a small disclaimer before we begin. As of recording this video, we do not know if this leak is actually real or if it is fake. There are a lot of people that buy into this thing and think it's 100% real, including Jeremy Conrad from MCU Cosmic, which I think is kind of interesting that he thinks it's real. However, the Redditor that posted this has actually posted in subs in the past that has been caught faking leaks. So, I mean, we really don't know. The jury is still out. At the very least, what this poster is a visual representation of all of the leaks that we have gotten over the past couple of months. So maybe it's just that, and we can kind of go on this visual journey and break down everything that's on the poster and how it refers to all the things that have supposedly been leaked. And possibly this is actually 100% real. All right, now let's get into this. I just want to break down all of the cool visual things that I like in here and how they refer to the different leaks. And we will do a fan chat live later this afternoon where we're going to go live and go over all the questions we have about this. So stay tuned for that. Enable notifications, you mother truckers. Okay, so let's start with the background of the image being white light coming through one of the Imperial wall designs. I think that's super cool and could also have a visual meaning when it comes to like Rey and Kylo. But you know, I've kind of talked about that a lot. Now to the right here, we see an X-Wing, an A-Wing, and a Y-Wing. Now this won't be the last time I say this in this video, but this does refer to a leak. The X-Wing, the Y-Wing, and the A-Wing are all supposedly coming back. They're gonna make a big splash. Supposedly we're getting a big space battle, so here they are visually represented on this poster. Rey is of course the centerpiece of the top portion of the poster. She's in her white, which we saw in the concept leaks from a couple of weeks back. She's basically going to be wearing a version of what she wore in The Force Awakens, but it'll be more white and represent a little bit more of the Jedi attire. This is very akin to some stuff that Padme Amidala wore, which again visually ties into this idea of Kylo Ren and Rey's relationship being a mirror or even an opposite of the Anakin and Padme relationship. Now to the right we see Chewbacca, and this character right here who we believe is actually Veranda Calrissian. Now this is the character that is played by Naomi Ackie, and a lot of people originally thought she was going to be playing a character from the Star Wars comic books who was like a wife to Han Solo, and that would be kind of wild that the ex-wife of Han Solo shows up in Episode 9. But more recent leaks have clarified that we believe this will actually be the daughter of Lando Calrissian, which is, to me, is kind of dope. To the left, we get this weird alien thing. I've got no comment on that other than that that's a really weird alien. We see Finn with accurate hair and costumes, some of the other leaks that we have seen. And then we see C-3PO with a weapon. He's got the bowcaster, and if you look carefully, he's got Rey's staff with him as well. Now, this actually ties into a couple of recent leaks. One where C-3PO and his memories are actually going to be the MacGuffin of the film and be very important. And there were also leaks suggesting that C-3PO was actually getting some action in this movie. He was actually going to be doing some fighting, and at one point having Rey's staff. Now to the right of that we see Poe Dameron, again in accurate costume, looking like what we've seen in other leaks. Then we've got this character in the purple. Now this is highly speculated to be Kerri Russell's bounty hunter character. And again, visually this matches up with the descriptions that we have heard from different sites that leak things, including Reddit, including Making Star Wars. This looks like what they described. This is going to be Kerri Russell, the purple bounty hunter. I'm excited for this character. Then we get BB-8 and the sidekick droid, once again something we heard about in leaks. Now the bottom middle of this poster shows the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren in his repaired helmet and his new cloak draped over his shoulders. This was leaked like a bunch of different ways, a bunch of different times, but yes, Kylo Ren rebuilding the mask and having a slightly different look with this cloak on him. This matches up with what we've seen and heard about in different leaks. Oh, side note, him holding the saber like this is absolutely badass. Please let him hold the saber, at least like this for a little bit. That's pretty cool. To the left of him, we see the Knights of Ren, which is badass. This has been leaked quite a bit. Really hoping that all of this is true and that the Knights of Ren will be in Star Wars Episode 9. This looks to be a visual confirmation of that fact if this poster is real. You got troopers on the right with some Imperial ships, and then you've got the red troopers that are lining the bottom. Some of them have a very interesting design, reminiscent of the clone troopers a little bit here. Don't know exactly what's going on with that, but that's super cool stuff. That was again something that was leaked several weeks ago. They're called the Sith Stormtroopers at this point. We don't really know too much about what they will be doing in the film, but they look pretty badass, again, if this is real. Now, the biggest takeaways here, again, assuming that this is real, is that the Lando's daughter thing. I mean, this looks really, really cool to me. This character very much does visually remind me of Lando. The fact that Lando will be in the film as well, and Lando and this character interacting with some of these other characters, very cool. Hoping that that's a real thing, and I'm excited about it. Next up is obviously the Knights of Ren. So this is a big hope for me, guys. Right after The Last Jedi, I was one of these guys that came out and said, I really think the Knights of Ren should be in the next movie. I think they will be in the next movie. The fact that Kylo is the Supreme Leader opens the door for them to play a major role in the film. Now, what's really interesting to me is that these visually look just like the characters that were in the Force-backed vision that Rey had in The Force Awakens. This means that she could potentially have seen a future in that movie, which will indeed come to pass in this film. Remember, one of the big complaints and one of the things people mentioned was like, okay, well, Kylo Ren no longer has that mask, so this had to be in the past. But with him rebuilding the mask, and we know that the Knights of Ren are likely to play a role in Episode 9, it is really cool to think that maybe that moment from The Force Awakens will be paid off. And not to mention that I just love this visual design, so I'm really hoping that this is real and that this is what we are looking at for Star Wars Episode 9. Overall, just dopeness. It's always a great day when we get a Star Wars leak or a story that we can talk about. This one is huge, so I wanted to bring it to your attention. Let me know what you think about this, and ultimately, where do you fall? Is this real or is this fake? Let me know in the comments section. Now let's check the nerd card on the way out of here. I want to know, what was the name of that character back in the day in the Star Wars comics that was Han Solo's wife? The character that a lot of people thought maybe was played by Naomi Ackie. Yeah, what was the name of that actual character from the comic books? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be the fan chat later today. Enable notifications.